Something that's very, very dear to your heart at the moment, Claire, because I know this is something that that you've been thinking about in great detail, is the ways of improving the outcome for young people with Graves' disease. And I think you've been involved in some research in this area for a little while, but you're planning some. Am I right in saying you're planning some?
Yeah. So I mean, it was obviously based on some research that you did, initially a couple of years ago, wasn't it? But we're 99.9% sure that we'll be able to run a study starting in the next year or so, looking at adding a single dose of a drug called rituximab into the standard treatment for people with Graves. And I think this is really exciting, obviously, because it's what I want to do, but also we're hopefully going to go from only about 1 in 4 people going into remission with Graves at the end of a sort of a 2-year treatment period to potentially up to half of those people. This could have a really big impact on, we've just been talking about the challenges around school and knowing when to time definitive treatment, and none of these things a young person wants to have to think about if they don't have to. And what we're hoping is that by adding in this single dose of this extra antibody, that we can encourage the immune systems of a young person to go into remission, so that they wouldn't need to have that definitive treatment, or certainly be able to kick it down the line for later on, so they can get their important exams, etc., out the way. And we're planning it as a big multi-centre study all around the UK for anybody who's recently diagnosed with Graves. And there'll be lots of information available on the British Thyroid Foundation website, and it should be coming to clone the phrase, a centre near you, but hopefully this will be up and running in the next year or so. And it's really exciting, I think, for us as well, isn't it? There aren't very many clinical trials like this in the paediatric endocrine, the sort of children's hormone world. So this is quite exciting, I think.
Yeah, I think, and obviously you've done a lot of where we are now represents a lot of hard work on your part. But I suppose one of the things that people ask about is rituximab, and it's for example, its safety record, but it's been around for a long time. And I suppose if you were recruiting somebody to the trial, then it's good for them to know that it has this really excellent safety record. Is that fair to say, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been used in other conditions like juvenile arthritis and some kidney conditions for a long time now. But also, when we look back to the data in the pilot study that you did, there weren't really any side effects during that study that were thought to be due to the rituximab at all. So we found it to be really safe. And I always think that the acceptability of a drug is related to the fact that nobody dropped out of that study that you did. Everyone chose to stay involved, and to me that says a lot about the intervention that we're giving, that everyone was able to continue and wanted to continue in it.
Yeah.